If you all knew how long completing this project took me, you'd all be super disappointed in me. Hey everyone, it's me, Katie-Beth again. And I know that this year there's a big hole in everyone's family traditions of going to Disneyland or other theme parks and picking out your family ornament for the year. So in this project, I'm trying to help you fill that Mickey-shaped hole. So in the spirit of helping out with that Christmas problem, today I'm showing you how to make some Mickey-themed Christmas ornaments out of these wooden circles, wooden rings that I got off of Amazon. They were like $7.99 for a pack of about 60. And for most people, this will be a really quick project, as long as you're not me. So it's a super simple project for the most part. This one and this one I made with wrapping twine around first the big circle and then the little circles. And then I kind of tied them on with the twine with a little bit of hot glue in there. And the more decorated ones I made with, sorry, it's got some hot glue sticking off still. Just hot gluing the circles together. And this one I just added some rhinestones on there, because as is my crafting motto, when something is off, add some rhinestones to it. So the first twine one, the twine I just got from the Dollar Tree. And to me, this actually resembles the Disney Duffy Bear. Which I just magically happen to have here. So this one's kind of my little Duffy ornament. And the next one with twine that I used, I kind of made this little green wreath. And it reminded me a lot of a Christmas wreath, of course. And so I put a Christmas bow on it. And some people might not know this about me. Back when I was 19, around like 2004, 2005, I was a hat writer. And we used to have these big tables with a big machine on it. And we would hand crank, kind of in our own handwriting, on the back of hats. So each of the hats kind of had our own handwriting, even though they were all supposed to look the same. So one of my tasks in this job was to make the little Minnie Mouse bows that would go onto some of the hats, and I just wanted to show you a quick tutorial of how we did that. So it was pretty easy. You just take a ribbon, fold it over with one piece over the other, and then smush down the top. And then with us, we had a little wired rose that we put to kind of keep it scrunched down like that. For me right now, I'm going to try just with some hot glue. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why I put the glue on the wreath first, because I still had to make the ribbon. So with the ribbon, I put the glue on one side and kind of sealed them together. And then I put it on the inside and tried to smush it down. But it didn't quite smush together quite as well since I didn't have the wired rose to hold it. So I kept putting a little more glue in the middle to smush it up, so it got more of that smushed in the middle bow look. And then I finally put it down on that dollop of glue that I put forever ago. And it stayed pretty well, but it's a little messy looking. So because I didn't use the wire to tie around and just glued it all with glue, it was a little funky with a glue mess on the top. So to fix it, I put some rhinestones on there. One note about this Dollar Tree twine, it's very hairy. So it has all these long hairs sticking off, but I'm going to trim that off. So with these two, I did more of my own decorating ideas. This one is more, I wanted it to be nautical themed. So it's little life rings and it's in the ocean floating with some little rope tying together. I disguised the hot glue as rope. Well, I tried to. And this one, I had initially intended to actually just make this entire thing a rhinestone Mickey. But when I got this much done, I got really bored and just decided to paint the rest of it with this shimmery, teal-y aqua color, which I really love, but part of the problem with this paint is that I cheaped out and used the cheap paints you get at Five Below, which a store that I'm rather upset with, not only for their cheap quality paints, but also because not everything in the store is Five Below anymore. Super irritating. Last time I was there was stuff for like $9.99 and higher, but not $5 and below, which is their entire theme. Same thing with the 99-cent store. Their stuff isn't all 99 cents. Some of it's like way more expensive. But back to these paints. I was super excited because I did actually get this for about $5 at Five Below. And it has all of these cool colors of acrylic paints. However, they're less acrylic paint-like. Sorry, I just spit a little bit. But they're less acrylic paint-like and more water with a little opacity to them, with like a little coloring in there. So to get the paint to be about this dark took about at least 6 layers. And part of the problem with this is that even after it was dry, if you put another layer, that layer would take up the old layer. So you'd basically be painting for no reason because it would just keep pulling up the older layers. And so I ended up just having to like layer on kind of like splotch painting, just like splotching it all on and letting it dry, because if you paint stroked through, it would just take up all of your paint. Additionally with that, I wanted to have some type of covering over the paint just to help it stay on there since it had such a hard time staying on by itself. I used the Mod Podge. I used the gloss Mod Podge. This is a dishwasher safe one, and I don't know if that's part of the problem or it was just the cheap paint underneath this, but the paint kind of fractured up a little bit, like cracked. So if you are going to try to put a gloss over these cheap butt paints, I'd say use more of a spray protectant over it versus the painting, because these paints are just really bad. Similarly, it took like 6 to 8 layers to get the white to stay over this wood. Whereas when I used just normal acrylic paints, and yes, it's black, but it was 1 layer to get this dark, and it didn't keep coming up. So just don't go with these cheap butt paints from Five Below. Oh, so while I was waiting for those to paint over days and weeks of more layers, I did also make these tiny little ones. So this one is it's a tiny version of this ornament here. And I wasn't sure of what to do with them. So I thought I'll just make cute little brooches or Christmas sweater pins. And I didn't really take into account that they're rings, so they're see-through. So the pin you can see through it. So I'm either going to have to color in the pin or move where the pin is. But even if I put it taller, it's still going to stick out a little bit, like if I put it higher. So that's the problem with making it a little brooch pin. Unless you get a smaller pin, which these were the smallest ones that I found at Joann's the day that I went. So my next idea with these, particularly this little one, since I didn't put a pin on the back, is to either make it a necklace pendant, a tiny ornament, or to put it on a gift card, like sticking it on a greeting card with some other type of, with Duffy. Maybe make a Duffy nautical theme. So I'd also like to share with you how I made the hangers, like how I mounted a hanging device so that you can hang them on your tree. So of course the first Duffy one, I just glued some ribbon on and then put a rhinestone over the glue, because I rhinestone everything. But these other ones, let's see, you can better see with these. I wrapped some colored baling wire that I got from the Dollar Tree also, and just kind of made little hooks on them. So then I can put a ribbon or a more traditional Christmas hook through it and just have it hanging. The other idea I had was to use these screw eyes. And I thought, yeah, it'll be really easy to just screw these into the wood and then have a professional little hook. But these are super hard to screw on by hand. Like, it's just without a pre-drilled hole. It's just like really hard to screw these into this hard wood. So I eventually just abandoned that idea entirely. So these are the Mickey Mouse, Hidden Mickey, Disney themed ornaments I made, which would take a normal person like 2 to 4 hours to make, but took me 2 weeks. I hope this video was helpful and maybe inspiring you to make some of your own ornaments and maybe fill some of that Disney hole left by theme parks being closed this year. And if you do end up making some of your own ornaments, even if they're not these guys, ooh, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know about what other ornaments you guys are making out there. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight with me for Handcraft Handsewn Hump Day. Have a great night, everyone. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. And if not, please think about hitting that subscription button down below. Have a magical night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Should I do the Disney Channel wand thing?